Good morning, everyone. This is your Nilofar ma'am. I hope you all are fine at your homes and your study is going well. So, as you all know that we are doing the syllabus of internal assignment 2. Our subject is SST, and in SST from today we are starting geography. In today's video, I will explain you chapter 3 of geography. Topic of the chapter is motions of the earth. So in this chapter, we will discuss about the different motions of the earth. We will discuss how day and night are caused, how the seasons are caused. So let's get started. First of all, let's see the introduction to the chapter. So it is an activity. For this, you need a ball and a lighted candle. Let's see. Take a ball to represent the earth and a lighted candle to represent the sun. So for representing the earth, you need a ball, and for representing the sun, you need a lighted candle. Mark a point on the ball to represent a town X. You have to mark a point on the ball to represent a town X. Place the ball in such a way that the town X is in darkness. So you have to place the ball in such a way that the town X will be in darkness. Now rotate the ball from left to right. Now you have to rotate the ball from left to right position. As you move the ball slightly, the town will have its sunrise. So when you will start moving the ball, you will see that the town X will have its sunrise. That means there will be light. As the ball continues to move, the point X gradually gets away from the sun. As you will start rotating the ball, you will see that the point X gradually gets away from the sun. This is sunset, because at that time there will be no light. It will be dark. So that's how you can see that how the earth rotates. Now let's see the next topic, that is rotation and revolution, which are the motions of the earth. As you know that the earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. So as you all know that the earth has two types of motions, that is known as rotation and revolution. So what is rotation? Rotation is the movement of earth on its axis. Like it is axis and that is earth. If the earth is moving on its axis, that means this motion is known as rotation. Second one is revolution. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit is called revolution. So we all know that the earth revolves around the sun. So the movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit, that is called revolution. Next topic which we are going to discuss, that is orbital plane. So what is orbital plane? So first of all, let's see the axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line. We all know that the axis of the earth is an imaginary line, makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. So the axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line, I have already told you, makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as the orbital plane. So the plane which is formed by the orbit is known as the orbital plane. This one I will explain you through a diagram also. Let's see. So just now I have explained you about orbital plane. So for that you have to see figure 3.1, which is given in your book, inclination of the earth's axis and the orbital plane. So you can see the axis, which is an imaginary line. Here you can see south pole and that is north pole. The earth moves on its axis. And you can see the equator also, which is also an imaginary line. That is the plane of the earth's orbit. And here you can see the vertical line from the earth's orbital plane. When you will measure, it will form 66.5 degree and it is called the orbital plane. So now before moving forward to the next topic, let's see a figure which is figure 3.2 given in your book, that is day and night on the earth due to rotation. So how day and night are caused due to the rotation of the earth. So here you can see the diagram of the earth. It is axis, that is south pole and north pole. So when the half portion of the earth receives the sunlight, so that time there is day, and the half part of the earth is not receiving the sunlight. That's why there is night. So here you can clearly see that day and night are caused due to the rotation of the earth on its axis, and because of the sunlight, the day and night are caused. So the topic which we are going to discuss, that is circle of illumination, which is related to the diagram only. Let's see. The earth receives light from the sun. So as we all know that the earth receives light from the sun. Due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half of it gets light from the sun at a time. Figure 3.2. So as you all have seen in figure 3.2, I am showing it again to you, that half portion of the earth is receiving the light from the sun at a time because of the spherical shape of the earth. You can see that the shape of the earth is in sphere, and that's why the half part of the earth receives the light of the sun at a time. The portion facing the sun experiences day, while the other half away from the sun experiences night. So as I have told you that the portion of the earth which faces the sun experiences the day, while the other half away from the sun experiences night. The circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. So the circle that divides the day from night on the globe, that is called the circle of illumination. This circle does not coincide with the axis, as you see in the figure 3.2. Coincide means occur at the same time. So that means this circle does not occur at the same time with the axis. You can see in the figure 3.2, the earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. So as we have already read in previous classes that the earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation on its axis. The period of rotation is known as the earth day. This is the daily motion of the earth, and that is the daily motion of the earth. What would happen if the earth did not rotate? If the earth will not rotate, that means there will be no day and night. The portion of the earth facing the sun would always experience day, thus bringing continuous warmth to the region. So the portion of the earth which faces the sun would always experience day. That means here warmth will be there in the regions. The other half would remain in darkness and be freezing cold all the time. And the portion of the earth which does not face the direct light of the sun, so there is darkness and there is very cold in the region all the time. Life would not have been possible in such extreme conditions. So if there will be no warmth, so that means life would not have been possible in that regions, because heat is the most important thing to survive on the earth. That is figure 3.1, which I have already shown you before the explanation of the orbital plane. Here you can see that it is axis, that is an imaginary line on which the earth moves. So the earth is in spherical in shape. When it moves, it is tilted towards the sun. One side of the earth is tilted. Tilt means jhukna. So that is related to the motions of the earth, which I will explain you further. Now let's see forward. So the next topic which we are going to discuss, that is revolution. That is also a motion of the earth. Till now we have discussed about rotation. Let's see. The second motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit is called revolution. So when the earth moves around the sun on its orbit is called revolution. It takes 365.25 days, 1 year to revolve around the sun. So that means for revolving around the sun, for completing one circle around the sun, the earth takes 365.25 days. We consider a year of consisting of 365 days only and ignore 6 hours for the sake of convenience. So now you all must be thinking that we have read that there are only 365 days in a year. So here I am telling you that we consider a year as 365 days only and we ignore the 0.25 days, that is 6 hours. 6 hours saved every year are added to make one day 24 hours over a span of 4 years. So as you all know that there is leap year in which February is of 29 days. So the 6 hours saved for 4 years and then 1 day, that means 6 hours for 4 years, it will become 1 day, 24 hours they are added to the month of February. Thus This surplus day is added to the month of February. Thus, every fourth year, February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. So, that's why we are having a leap year, because the 24 hours of 4 years that are added in the month of February, and that's why in the leap year, February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. Such a year with 366 days is called a leap year. Find out when will the next leap year be. So the year which has 366 days, that is called a leap year. So you have to find out when will the next leap year be. So here you can see the another diagram, that is figure 3.3, revolution of the earth and seasons. So the seasons are caused due to the revolution of the earth. How it is happened, that we will discuss in the further topics. Here you can see that is sun and that is orbit of the earth. Orbit. So that's how the earth moves around the sun. It takes one circle around the sun. And due to the revolution of the earth, the seasons are caused. You can see that it is earth and that is its axis, imaginary line. So the part which I am underlining, that is south pole, and the upper one is north pole. So how the revolution of the earth caused the seasons, that we will discuss in the further topics. Let's see. I will explain the diagram after explaining one paragraph. So the next topic which I am going to explain you, that is elliptical orbit. So I have already shown you that the orbit. Here you can see from the figure 3.3, it is clear that the earth is going around the sun in an elliptical orbit. So I have told you that the earth revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Notice that throughout its orbit, the earth is inclined in the same direction. So you can notice that throughout its orbit, the earth is inclined in the same direction. A year is usually divided into summer, winter, spring and autumn seasons. So we already know that a year is divided into seasons. Seasons change due to the change in the position of the earth around the sun, and seasons are changed due to the change in the position of the earth around the sun. So, do you know the ancient Indian astronomer Aryabhatta had stated that the earth is round and rotates on its own axis? When there was no science at that time, he stated that comment. So, this was the first part of the chapter which I have explained you. The remaining chapter I will explain you in the second part of the video. Till that, keep learning and keep watching.